as always.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I want to say congratulations because you have been nominated for a Critics' Choice Award for this film.
I did?
I read it.
Excellent. That's great.
Now, tell me about choosing the role and what you actually did to play Margaret Thatcher, because I keep telling people tonight, I'm like, how was it like working with Margaret? And I mean, oh no, Meryl.
Well, I didn't choose the role. I mean, Phillida chose me, Phillida Lloyd, who's the director. And it was written by Abby Morgan, who wrote Shame and many other wonderful dramas. So it's, in a way, like an all-girl production, you know. So that's very unusual in and of itself. And it was talking about the first female prime minister in the Western world, and the longest-serving prime minister in the 20th century. Very divisive figure. So I like difficult women, and I like the opportunity to play her as an old lady as well, because I like old ladies.
You nailed the role. What did you do to study the mannerisms or the accent? Because you perfect every accent you do.
It's just part of the whole everything. I don't pick apart each component, you know, how they touch their hair, how they lean forward when they speak, how they, you know, it's part of the whole thing.
How exciting is it for you to be working with Meryl again?
It's thrilling. I mean, to work with her once would be a director's dream, but to get the chance to do it twice, it's almost like, feels like too much good luck. So, yeah, I feel very blessed to have collaborated with her on this and to be capturing, you know, this incredible performance on screen.
And she looks like Margaret, and she sounds like her. What did she go through to actually get the accent down?
Well, I mean, she says that the accent is not the most difficult bit. Actually, she's got an incredible musical ear for accents, but she had to study for months. You know, the whole physicality of her, the way in which Margaret Thatcher had this superhuman amount of breath capacity. And could go sentence after sentence after sentence and never draw breath in order that interviewers like you couldn't get a word in edgeways. So, her preparation is legendary, and she brings a lot of herself to the role as well.
Now, a lot of people have this notion of Margaret Thatcher being, you know, like kind of a dictator in that way speaking. But what is the one thing that people will come away learning about Margaret Thatcher that they maybe didn't know before this movie?
Well, I think they'll learn what it took as a woman and as someone from a very humble background to come into this political party, all men from very privileged backgrounds in Britain at that time, you know, in the 70s, and to try to kind of shake Britain out of its complete doldrums. But the prejudices that she overcame and the condescension from the men around her, I think people will be quite moved by that. It's the story of, you know, the cost of a huge life. It's not a biopic as such. It's a story about really, it's about power and loss of power, and it looks at some challenges that all of us are going to have to face.
And lastly, there is a lot of award buzz. You already got nominated for a Critics' Choice Award. What does that feel for you? How do you feel knowing that there's a lot of buzz surrounding this film?
Well, we're all rooting for Meryl, that's for sure.
On tonight, there's a lot of buzz going around, Oscar buzz. You guys have been nominated. Well, I know Meryl has been nominated for Critics. How exciting is it to be part of this movie?
Oh, it's a bit overwhelming. It's my first time in New York. It's my first premiere. This is all new to me, and to be I'm just so pleased to be part of such an exciting film.
What about for you?
Yeah, likewise. I mean, for my first ever film premiere, I don't think you could pick a better film. I'm chuffed to bits.
Now, did you imagine it being this crazy your first premiere?
No. It's beyond crazy.
And what was it like working with I'm calling her Margaret because she seems exactly like her.
Yeah.
But Meryl got the accent down. What was it like playing the younger version?
I just remember the first rehearsal where I saw Meryl and I was sat with her, and she just went into it, and she's just so, I don't know, she's just so lovely as a woman, and she's just so giving that I didn't feel nervous at all playing a younger version of her. And she'd watch me do scenes and I'd watch her, and I didn't feel intimidated, and that's a big feat for her, being Meryl Streep.
And what about you? Did you give her any accent tips? Because she got the accent down perfectly.
Yeah, she managed to do it without our help, but
She didn't need us.
we were on hand if she needed it. But she's someone who knows that people put her on a pedestal, and so as soon as she meets you, she straight away gets off it and gives you a hug and says hi, and she's very approachable, and it was very easy.
And now everybody has this image of Margaret Thatcher in their head, but what is the one image or the one thing that people will walk away knowing about Margaret Thatcher that maybe they didn't know before?
She's such a controversial figure back home, especially that people forget that she's actually a human being, and I think this brings out a real human side to her, and you come out seeing a completely different side that's never seen before with Margaret Thatcher.